Hello, and thanks for tuning in to BBC News. My name is Matt Dixon. Tonight, we start with major breaking news from the Pacific Ocean. A group of boys from English private schools who were involved in a plane crash several months ago have been found alive and in good spirits. They seem to be in good health as well. The boys were found after a massive fire broke out on the island, which attracted a passing Navy ship. The cause of the fire is still unknown, but sources are investigating at this time. For more on the boys, we will now go to our foreign affairs reporter, John Rappenheimer.
Thanks, Matt. I'm speaking with Lieutenant Hammerville, the first adult to set foot on the island. So tell us, sir, how did you find the boys?
So we were just on a standard patrol, and then all of a sudden we saw a huge fire off to the left side of our ship. I decided to take a look with my trusty binoculars, and I saw a whole bunch of painted boys running around on the island chasing one of the boys. I thought, hey, this can't be right. So all three of us launched a boat, and we went over to the island. I was the first one to see any of the boys as I was searching that section of the island.
Wow, that's astonishing. What was the first thing you noticed on the island?
I noticed that the boys were filthy. They'd been a really long time without any kind of baths or any kind of showers, so their hair was long and matted and they were covered in grime. Some of the boys were also painted, and the painted boys were chasing after the one who was not painted. So I believe there may have been some kind of on the island feud at that point.
Wow. So one final question. How did the boys survive for so long on the island?
Well, it's simple, really. The island was a paradise. The boys had everything that they could possibly need. They had lots of fresh water, lots of food. There were pigs that they could hunt, as well as coconuts and other fruits on the island. The boys had shelter, and really the only reason they weren't able to survive for a longer time by themselves was because they burned down the island.
Thanks, Lieutenant. Back to you, Matt.
Thank you, Lieutenant Hammerville, for that stellar view into the operation that brought the boys to safety once again. And to John for conducting a great interview. For more coverage of this story, we will now go to Noskin Wetham for a look at the island today.
Hello, Matt. This is Noskid Wetham reporting from the scene. So as you can see, the island is severely charred. This is all that's left of what was once luscious grassland. You can see the destruction that's occurred to the plants as well. This plant was completely scorched by the flames. Behind me you can see the perimeter fence that the government has set up to make sure that no one attempts to get onto this island while the investigation into the murders of the three boys is still ongoing. That's all from here.
Thank you, Noskid, for that insider view of what remains of the island today. As I'm sure you could all see, the devastation caused by the fire is enormous. We will now go to Cynthia Wiggum for a preview of the charges that may await the boys for crimes performed on the island.
Hi, Matt. I'm standing here today outside the Supreme Court of Canada, where some of the boys face very severe charges. Jack, the leader of the Savages, faces 1 count of first-degree murder and 2 charges of involuntary manslaughter for 3 deaths on the island. Some of the other boys face charges including arson, trespassing, and violence, and assault and battery. Some very severe charges from acts that were committed on the island. Thanks, Matt. Back to you.
Wow. Excellent reporting, Cynthia. Thanks for that in-depth look at the situation that is still developing. We here at BBC News will be continuing to cover this story as it unfolds, so be sure to stay with us over the coming days, weeks, and months in order to get the complete story. I wish you all a good night, and remember, in the absence of adult authority, children will revert to savagery. Have a nice night. Matt Dixon, signing off.